Most sellers think if they clean their home, fix a few things, and price it reasonably, it should sell. So when it doesn't, it feels confusing and frustrating because they did everything they were supposed to do. Today I want to talk to you about why some homes sit on the market even when sellers generally do everything right, and what is really happening behind the scenes when showings slow down or offers never come. Today I want to talk to you about why some homes sit on the market even when sellers generally do everything right, and what is really happening behind the scenes when showings slow down or offers never come. This matters because a home sitting on the market doesn't always mean the home is bad or the seller did something wrong. It usually means something is misaligned, and misalignment can often be fixed once you understand what buyers are responding to. Let's start with the biggest reason homes sit. Price and position are not the same thing. Many sellers price their home based on what feels fair or what similar homes listed for. But buyers don't shop by fairness. They shop by comparison. When a buyer sees your home, they're comparing it to every other home in that price range. They aren't asking if your price makes sense to you. They're asking if your home makes sense compared to the alternatives. That's why a home can be priced close to market value and still sit. If it feels slightly weaker than the other choices in its range, buyers will pass, even if the difference is small. The next reason homes sit is competition. Sellers often look only at what's sold in the past. Buyers look at what's for sale right now. If three similar homes come on the market at the same time, buyers will choose the one that feels easiest, cleanest, or most updated. The others don't get rejected, they get ignored. This is where timing matters more than most people expect. Your home doesn't compete with the last sale from 3 months ago. It competes with what a buyer can see this weekend. And if your home is the third best option in its price range, you'll feel invisible no matter how well you prepared it. Another reason homes sit is presentation. Sellers often think preparation means clean and repaired. Buyers think preparation means bright, open, and emotionally appealing. Buyers decide emotionally first and logically second. They walk into a home and think, this feels right, or this feels off. Then they justify that feeling with price, layout, or condition. That means lighting, layout, clutter, and how a home flows matter more than sellers expect. A home can be well maintained and still feel heavy or closed in. Buyers don't always explain that clearly. They just move on. Photos play a role in this too. Most buyers decide whether to tour a home based on photos alone. If the photos don't show light, space, and clarity, the buyer never makes it through the door. And once your home misses that first wave of attention, it's very hard to recreate momentum. Now, another reason homes sit is expectations versus reality. Many sellers believe that if they price it correctly, the market will reward them quickly. But buyers don't just respond to price. They respond to perceived value. If a buyer sees a home and feels like it will need work or time or compromise, they mentally discount it. Even if the price is technically fair, it doesn't feel compelling. That gap between price and perceived effort is where many listings stall. Then there's marketing. Most sellers assume that once their home is listed, it's everywhere. In reality, how a home is described, where it appears, and how it's positioned all affect who sees it and how they interpret it. If the description focuses only on features and not benefits, buyers don't connect. If the listing doesn't clearly explain who the home is for, buyers keep scrolling. If the home isn't framed correctly, it blends into everything else. And another reason homes sit is buyer psychology. Buyers don't want to feel like they're making a mistake. If a home sits too long, buyers start to wonder, what are they missing? They think if no one else wants this, why should I? Even when nothing is actually wrong, time on market changes perception. That's why the first week matters so much. The longer a home sits, the more it has to overcome its own history. There's also the issue of overcorrection. Some sellers do everything right initially, then panic too soon. They start making big changes without understanding the real problem. They drop the price dramatically. They start offering incentives. They change strategy without clarity. That often sends the wrong signal. Buyers don't see that as flexibility. They see it as weakness. And that can reduce confidence instead of increasing it. Now, let me say something important. A home sitting on the market is not a moral failure. It's a data point. It's feedback from buyers, even when buyers aren't speaking directly. Low showings usually means exposure or price range. High showings and no offers usually means perception or condition. Activity with negative comments usually means mismatch between price and experience. The mistake is taking it personally instead of analytically. The smartest sellers don't ask, what is wrong with my house? They ask, what is the market telling me? That shift in thinking changes everything. Another common reason homes sit is that sellers underestimate how specific buyers are. Most homes aren't for everyone. A 3-story townhouse appeals to a different buyer than a ranch home. A historic home attracts a different buyer than a new build. If your home is positioned as if it's for everyone, it often feels like it's for no one. Clear positioning helps the right buyers recognize themselves. Then there's access. Limited showing times, difficult scheduling, or the seller being present can all reduce momentum. Buyers want convenience. If it feels hard to see your home, they'll see a different one instead. Small friction points create big losses in attention. Now let's talk about what sellers should understand when a home is sitting. The first step is diagnosis, not reaction. Look at the data. Look at how many showings there have been. Look at what buyers are saying. Look at what is new on the market. Then adjust one thing at a time with purpose. Sometimes the issue is price. Sometimes it's presentation, and sometimes it's marketing. Sometimes it's competition that changed after the home was listed. And the worst move is changing everything without understanding what is actually holding the home back. Another important point is this. Homes that sit usually don't need a miracle. They need alignment. Alignment between price and condition. Alignment between marketing and buyer type. Alignment between timing and competition. When alignment happens, momentum usually returns. And here's the part most sellers find hard to hear. Doing everything right doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you acted responsibly. But the market still gets to vote. The market doesn't reward effort, it rewards fit. Fit between what buyers want and what your home offers at that price. And that's not personal, it's practical. If this is helpful and you want more straight talk guidance on selling in Richmond, make sure you subscribe so you continue getting practical advice like this. Now let's recap. Homes can sit even when sellers do everything right because of misalignment. Buyers compare homes, not prices in isolation. Competition and timing matter more than past sales. Presentation and photos shape emotional response. Perception changes with time on market. Marketing and positioning influence who pays attention. Buyer psychology magnifies small differences. The solution is diagnosis, not panic. In the comments, tell me what you think makes homes sit the most. Price, presentation, timing, or something else you've noticed.